Hey guys, I'm Steph and welcome back to my beauty stash. Today we are finally doing my favorites of 2020. This is the last day of 2020. I know many of you are happy to see the year go, and with good reason. Here is hoping 2021 is definitely going to be a lot better, a lot different than this past year was. I know none of us envisioned our year was going to turn out the way it did. I can honestly say, guys, that I did have a good year. And I don't really like to say that just because I know there's so many out there that have really gone through it this year, and with reason. But just speaking for myself, guys, I can honestly say that I was very blessed this year. And I hope all of you next year, all of us, have an amazing 2021. That is my prayer. And I'm sending you much love and blessings that is what is going to happen. So let's jump into my standout beauty products of 2020. And I'm just going to keep this makeup related, even though I do have some skincare, but I might do that maybe over on my Instagram, just because if I include it here, this video is going to be a million years long. So guys, if you want to see what topped my best of beauty 2020 list, keep on watching. All right, guys, I have a huge basket here in front of me, and I'm going to do my best to go through it as quickly as possible. Now, I do want to mention that I am keeping the majority of these products between 2 and 3. There might be 1 or 2 categories that have more than 3, and that's probably just going to be the eyeshadow palettes. I think I did my top 5, but mostly everything. It's going to be a nice mixture of high-end indie and drugstore makeup brands. So for primers, I have 2 that I have been rotating throughout this year. The first one is Tatcha, the Liquid Silk Canvas. I am a huge fan of Tatcha skincare. I use Tatcha skincare every single day, especially the SPF. They make a great facial sunblock. Be sure to check that out. But I have really been enjoying this Tatcha, the Liquid Silk Canvas on my normal to oily skin. I like to primarily focus this on my T-zone, although today I went in and I put it all over. And I just want to give you all a heads up, all of the products that I'm wearing on my face are all products in this basket that I am going to be showing you guys. So this was definitely one of my most used primers of 2020. The next primer that I really did enjoy wearing throughout the year was from Wet n Wild, and this is the Primer Focus Primer Serum. This is a very hydrating serum type of primer. And as you can see, it comes in a drop form. It feels really, really nice on the skin, especially like right now in the winter that our skin gets kind of dry. This is a very, very hydrating, very lightweight primer just to give your skin that added bit of hydration and prep it for the perfect makeup application. Next, we have foundation, and I narrowed this down, if you can believe, to 3 foundations and 1 tinted moisturizer, because in looking back at all of my YouTube videos, I definitely tried out my fair share of tinted moisturizers. Go figure, because I am more of a medium to full coverage type of girl, and usually tinted moisturizers are on the medium to sheer coverage. So I don't think you're going to be surprised which tinted moisturizer made my list. And you know what? Let's go ahead and start with that one. It is the Smashbox Halo Healthy Glow All-in-One Tinted Moisturizer. I reviewed this over the summer. It is a definite win, guys. This gives you coverage, it gives you hydration, it gives you a beautiful natural glow that lasts at least, guys, at least 8 hours, if not a good 10 hours. So next I have 3 foundations that I've just been reaching for and loving throughout 2020. The first one being from ColourPop, and this is their Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Hydrating Foundation. I love this foundation. It gives my skin a really nice, natural, kind of like a dewy finish. It stays put all day long. I can definitely get a good workday's wear out of this one. It comes in a lot of different shades, and the shade that I have in this one is Light 45W. think it's a pretty shade, maybe a little bit on the darker side, but that's okay. Spring is coming up. The sun is shining here in South Texas. I am bound to pick up a tan pretty soon, but this is a really nice foundation, really affordable. And if you need something that's going to hydrate your skin in the process, I would definitely check this one out. Next up is the foundation that I'm actually wearing right now, and this is from Chanel. This is the Le Beige Healthy Glow Foundation, and I have it in the shade BD21. This applies beautifully. I start applying this first with my IT Cosmetics Heavenly Luxe foundation brush, and then I go over it with a damp beauty sponge. Perfect, smooth, just a beautiful finish to this foundation. It looks good during application, it looks good throughout the day, and it looks great at the end of the day. This is really a must try from Chanel. And the last foundation that made my list, and probably maybe my favorite out of the bunch, is the Too Faced Born This Way Matte 24-Hour Undetectable Super Long Wear Foundation. I have this one in the shade Almond. Guys, this, I remember wear testing this, I think it was during the summer, and it just did so well. I was blown away by it, and I'm really glad that they created this really awesome full coverage foundation, because sadly they are taking away one of my favorites, which is the Peach Perfect Foundation. But this one is going to take its place. I absolutely love it. Long wearing, full coverage. This is definitely one that you need to put on your list. Next up is concealer, and I have 3 concealers that are my ride or die, that have been with me in the good and bad times throughout 2020. The first one being the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I have this little beauty in 4 different shades. I will use this as a foundation. I absolutely love it, especially under my eye area. It doesn't cake up, it doesn't crease, and it gives me the coverage that I want. Next up is a concealer from Makeup Revolution, and this is the Conceal and Define Infinite Long Wear Concealer. I have the shade C5 in this one. I only use this to spot conceal. I didn't really like the way it looked under my eye area, although I wouldn't mind placing it like on other areas of my face, but I do kind of refrain from placing it under the eye area, and I primarily use this to spot conceal right here on my cheeks. I am wearing this one today. Absolutely love it. And last but not least is definitely one of my just all-around favorite concealers in general, because it provides great coverage. It looks great under the eye area. You can definitely highlight the high points of your face with it. You can do whatever you want with it pretty much. This is the Dior Forever Skin Correct, and I use mine in the shade 1N. I do believe this might be the second to lightest shade. I think there might be one shade lighter, but I love this. I have it under my eye area. I have it on the high points of my face and my T-zone. This is just a beautiful, beautiful concealer. You can set it or you can go without setting it, whatever your preference is, but this definitely provides a great amount of coverage. Guys, for setting powder, I have one setting powder that it just kind of blew me away, and it came in towards the end of the year, but it's been a powder I have been reaching for non-stop, and that is the Nakia Joy Cosmetics. This is the Velvet Finishing Powder. I love this. I picked this up last month during Black Friday, and one of my Instagram friends, she highly recommended this to me, and I couldn't have loved it more. I've been using it all month. You're probably going to see this on my December favorites video. It is just a great setting powder, especially for blurring the under eye area, for setting the T-zone. In case you don't know, Nakia Joy is a beauty creator here on YouTube. She has an amazing channel, and she has this brand new beauty brand. I want to say her brand has been out for about a year now, and this is one of the first products that she launched with. I could not be happier to support her, and she is a normal to oily skin type just the way I am, so this is why she created this product, to help us oily skin girls get a control of our oil and just have a nice, perfect canvas all day long. Now, from setting powder, we're going to jump over to bronzers, and I have 3 bronzers that I want to share share with you guys. The first one being another one that I picked up during Black Friday, and this is from Soul Body, which is the sister brand to ColourPop Cosmetics. This is the Face and Body Bronzing Balm, and I use it in the shade Light. I am wearing this right now. Guys, this is a beautiful, beautiful cream bronzer. If you are looking to replace your Chanel, the Tan de Chanel or Soleil de Tan Chanel, I don't know what it's called, this is something worth checking out for way less money. This little bronzing balm comes in about 5 different shades or 6 different shades. I have the light, but there is a shade lighter, which is called Fair. But I thought this one was best suited for my skin tone, and I couldn't be more right. It applies beautifully, and anything that you place over it just looks so dewy, so fresh, just like a nice, healthy glow. I could not say more good things about this. I know a lot of shades on these tend to get sold out really quick, so maybe just sign up for the email alerts. That's what I did. And that's how I was able to pick up the shade that I wanted, but this is definitely worth placing on your ColourPop shopping list. Another bronzer that I've really been enjoying, another affordable bronzer, is from Catrice, and this is the Sungasm Illuminizing Bronzer. This one is in the shade CO1 Golden Ecstasy. This just provides like a beautiful, nice, bronzy glow, and I am wearing this on top of the Soul Body Bronzing Balm. I love it. I love it. You can wear this on its own, or you can pair it with a cream bronzer, whatever your preference is. They do have 2 shades available, and I did pick up mine from the Ulta Beauty website. And last but not least, we have Hourglass, and this is their newly reformulated Illume Sheer Color Trio, and this palette is called Sunset. You do have the cream bronzer, the blush, and the highlighter. I can honestly say I'm not a huge fan of the highlighter. I'm more on the bronzer train, and of course I do love this blush, but this bronzer just blends out so beautifully over the skin. You can wear it alone, maybe just over your moisturizer, or of course the way I do is I apply it over my foundation. Really, really blends out seamlessly. Absolutely worth checking this one out from Hourglass. I'm not too sure if it's going to be around forever or if it was just like a limited release, but it should be in stock right now on the Hourglass website. That is where I picked it up from. And if it is in stock, guys, it's definitely something you might want to consider purchasing. Next up, we have blush, and I only have 2 blushes that I'm going to recommend to you guys. The first and foremost being from e.l.f. Cosmetics. These are their Putty Blushes. I picked up all 8 shades that they come in. I'm wearing this one today. This one is in the shade Bora Bora, and this other pretty red one is called Fiji. Guys, these cream blushes are only $6. I picked them up directly from the e.l.f. website. That is where you can find the full shade range. Although Ulta does sell them, they don't sell all of the shades. These little putty blushes apply well over foundation, over powder, whatever you want to put them on. They definitely work. I cannot say enough great things about them. I am just so happy to see that e.l.f. created an amazing little product at a fantastic price. And the second blush that I've absolutely loved for about half of the year is the Hourglass blush in the shade At Night. This is the Ambient Lighting Blush, and this was a new shade for 2020. I believe it was like a holiday shade, and it's a very pretty brick red, and it just has like a nice little sheen to it. A little of this blush goes a long way. Do not dip into this with a heavy hand. It blends out seamlessly. It's just a gorgeous blush, and don't just use it around fall and winter. It's not just a holiday blush. This is definitely something you're going to want to use year round. I know I am. Now let's talk about one of my favorite topics, which is highlighters. And speaking of Hourglass, one of my favorites of this year was the Hourglass Ambient Metallic Strobe Lighting Palette. I want to say this could be a limited edition, guys. I am wearing this one today. I'm wearing these 2 shades right here. If you can find it, if it is in stock and you want a like really nice highlighter that is a bit blinding, but in a good way, in a classy way. This is definitely something you're gonna want to pick up. It's gorgeous. I didn't want to like it because it was so expensive, but it really is a great highlighter palette. And I do love that you get the 3 different shades in here. Feel free to just swipe your brush through all 3 of them and then apply it as you wish. Sometimes I just wear 1 shade, sometimes I wear 2, 3. It just depends whatever kind of look I'm going for. But this is a gorgeous, gorgeous palette. Another one of my favorites this year, and a first time trying the brand, like new to the brand this year, was the Kolatos Highlighters. I picked up the Space Age highlighter kit. It came with all of their highlighters. I believe there was 8 or 9 of them. These were 2 that were included. Guys, these highlighters, first off, the packaging, super, super cute. They all come in this like little tin packaging. You can depot it if you don't want this bulky packaging, but I just think it's so cute. I have these displayed here in my beauty room. This one is in the shade, what is this one? Solar Sailor. And these are just very, very special highlighters. They're like nothing you see at the drugstore or at Sephora or anything like that. This is an indie makeup brand and they are just killing it with their formula. This other one is in the shade Space Age. These aren't necessarily like my favorite shades. I just picked them at random, but look at that. Oh, look at that at the top. Oh my goodness. Like if you want a funky highlighter, something different, especially different like from the Hourglass that I just showed you, these from Kolatos are absolutely amazing, and you're helping to support an indie makeup brand. Guys, this brand is definitely worth checking out. Their eyeshadow palettes are equally fantastic. And last but not least, in my highlighter category is the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude Glow highlighter. Now, I'm going to be honest, when I first purchased this one, I used this brush right here from Beiges Cosmetics to apply it, and I was like, yeah, I don't know. It was just an okay highlighter, and I even contemplated returning it. But then I read some of your comments, and you all noticed the brush that I was using, it being this one. So I decided to go for a more densely packed brush, and this is the Sigma F03 brush. And when I paired it with this highlighter, it was just like something totally different. Like it had totally changed the way the highlighter applied. Like it looked so wet, so blinding. I was like, oh my goodness, the brush really does make a difference. So if you really want this to be impactful, go for a more densely packed brush. You're definitely going to get the payoff that you want. But I'm so glad I didn't return it. I'm so glad I kept it. And that's what we need to do, guys. And I know that's what I like to do. If I have a bad first impression with a product, I try it again, and then I might try it for another time after that. And if by the 3rd time it's really not doing anything, then I'm either going to pass it along to somebody else, or if I can return it, I'm going to go return it. Thank you for whoever commented on the brush that I used, because it definitely made a huge difference, and it got to stay in my stash. And look at it, it made my top list of 2020. So now I'm going to share with you guys 3 setting sprays that I've just been reaching for all year long. The first one being from Hourglass, and I don't know what happened to mine here. It got dirty with something, but this is a Veil Soft Focus Setting Spray. I remember I reviewed this kind of like at the beginning of the year. This is a beautiful setting spray. It's expensive, but it is beautiful. I am wearing this one today. Word of caution, make sure you shake it and then spray it on your hand first. And after you get that first spritz, then go in and lightly mist it all over your face. I have found that right after you shake it, if you go directly and spray it on your face, you're gonna get some little droplets, and that might take off your makeup. So that is something that I experienced in the past. Now I do it this new way by spraying it on my hand first and then going in and spraying it all over my face. works like a charm. Another setting spray that I've really been enjoying, although I'm not too sure if this came out in 2020. It might have come out in maybe late 2019, but I bought it in 2020. It is the Morphe Mattifying Continuous Setting Mist. Guys, I use the regular Continuous Setting Mist every single day in my makeup routine. And I usually go in with this right after I've done like my setting powder and then right before I do my eyeshadow and all of that. This I am wearing today as well, and I reserve this for mainly my T-zone. So I'll just spray it right here on the middle of my face, and then I'll go in with maybe a more dewy setting spray, something like the Hourglass spray, and I'll do this all over my face. So the combination of the two has really been working for me. This one is super affordable as well. And last but not least, in my setting spray category is one that I just keep it here on my filming desk. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. This does provide a nice glow, a nice dewy finish to the skin. I have the travel size in this, and you can definitely see I've made a dent in it. And I use this sometimes to spray my brush during eyeshadow application, but most often than not, I'm spraying this right before I come on camera, or you see me spray this while I'm doing my makeup here on camera. But it lives here on the desk that I used to film on, and it's definitely one that I have been enjoying this year. Now we've come to eyeshadow palettes, and this one was a hard one. I decided to just focus on 5 palettes that just stood out to me for whatever reason. It doesn't necessarily mean they were like the best of the best. These are just palettes that were memorable, palettes that I enjoyed using, enjoyed playing with, and palettes that I am definitely going to be using in the future. First and foremost being BH Cosmetics. BH Cosmetics came out with these Sweet Shop eyeshadow palettes, which by the way, I picked up the only 2 I didn't have, which is the Orange Sherbet and the Sugar Cone. And I am going to be filming a couple looks with that in the very near future, so stay tuned for that. But this one is probably my favorite of the bunch because this is the Pistachio palette. And of course, it is a green eyeshadow palette. I have some of these shades on right now, and I mainly use this palette on my lower lash line. This is a great formula. BH Cosmetics just really stepped up their game this year with their eyeshadow palettes, and I love the color. They had always done colorful eyeshadow palettes, but in recent years, they were doing more neutral palettes, and this year, they really brought us colorful makeup, and you guys know I love a good colorful eyeshadow look. This palette is gorgeous. If you're able to pick it up, which I don't know if you can, it did sell out rather quickly on this last restock. If they bring it back again, guys, add it to your list. You won't be disappointed with any of these BH Cosmetics Sweet Shop palettes. Another eyeshadow palette and new to me indie makeup brand is Be Perfect Cosmetics, and this is the Carnival 3 Love Tahiti Stacey Marie MUA and Be Perfect Cosmetics collaboration. Guys, this is a huge eyeshadow palette. Oh my god, but look at the colors. Oh, I love it. You all don't know how happy I was when I created those 3 looks here on my YouTube channel. I think it was over the summer. It was just so fun to play with this palette because of all of the colors that are in here. I mean, you can create anything you want, guys. Any look you want, you can definitely achieve it with this palette. It's just so fun to look at. It's even more fun to play with. I think it is in stock right now on the Be Perfect Cosmetics website. Definitely worth checking out. I knew that this palette instantly, when I opened it up, when I got it in the mail, I knew this was going to be one of my favorites of 2020, and I was right. Guys, another palette that I have to give a nod to, not because it's like the best formula ever or the best eyeshadow palette ever, but this eyeshadow palette, this review video that I did for it, that was one of my best performing YouTube videos ever. And in looking at this palette and how I used it throughout the year, or since I got it, so I think I got it in May, so I've had it for about half of the year. This is the NYX Ultimate Utopia eyeshadow palette. I've been able to dupe a lot of high-end eyeshadow palettes with this one from NYX. And I can dupe them because I mix and match the shades to make my own shade, or to make the shade that I'm trying to dupe from a Pat McGrath palette or a Natasha Denona palette that is like 2-3 times the cost of this. I picked this up for $35 on the Ulta Beauty website, and I think I had a coupon, so it probably came out to less than $30. But this palette was definitely a shocker. I just, I thought it was a nice color story. There's a lot of nice looks, cool and warm tone looks that you can create with it, but I wasn't expecting to use it or to love it as much as I did. And I am so happy that I have this in my collection. And I'm gonna be coming back to this palette to dupe a lot of those luxury eyeshadow palettes, some of those special shades. You can find it here in this NYX palette. Don't sleep on this one. This one is definitely worth checking out. Another brand that I tried for the first time in 2020 was Lime Crime. This is the Greatest Hit Bangers eyeshadow palette. I just love the packaging. Like, this is so vintage to me, and I just have it on display here in my beauty room. I love it. Like, I just love looking at it. I really love the floral detail. Like, again, just very vintage inspired. I had never tried Lime Crime before, and this is a collection of some of their most loved shades in all of their other palettes. So that's why they call it the greatest hit, because these are the shades that everybody seems to have on their favorite list. Guys, this palette performs really well. Like, this is top-notch quality. As far as eyeshadows go, I mean, the blendability, the pigmentation, this is a really, really nice palette, and it's more on the neutral side. I mean, you do have some fun pops of color in here. You do have, I believe you have a duochrome somewhere in here. Nice foil shades, but this is really something worth checking out. If you were like me, you've never tried Lime Crime before, and you've kind of always been interested or, wondering what the brand is like, this Greatest Hit Bangers palette is a great starting point to get yourself into Lime Crime. And the last palette that made my list is one that kind of just arrived. It's fairly new to my beauty stash, and that is from Lunar Beauty. This is the Eternal Eclipse eyeshadow palette, and Lunar Beauty, another indie makeup brand and another YouTube creator makeup brand. This is from Manny MUA. This is a really nice neutral palette with just the fun pops of blue. The shadows, man, these perform so well. I just love this palette. There's a lot of stuff you can do with it. I've created quite a few looks with it already, but if you're interested in picking up maybe a new neutral palette, or if you just, want to try something new, or maybe you've watched Manny all these years on his channel and you've never been able to try the brand, this would be a nice place to start. It's not overly colorful. You can definitely do everyday looks, evening looks, dramatic looks, whatever you want, but there's a lot of shades to just anchor your look with, and then maybe bring in another palette that has some more color or some glitter or whatever you want. He did a really good job with the formula, with the color story, and just the overall outside packaging of this palette. Really, really nice one from Lunar Beauty. Now, as far as eyeliners go, I definitely love a good colorful eyeliner. And I tried a lot of good eyeliners in 2020, although I don't think any of the ones that I tried as far as like on the colorful side were released in 2020. I think they were maybe just the colors might have been new for 2020, but the actual product, the formulation was not new to 2020. And since I primarily want to focus on products that were released in 2020, I thought, what? The two eyeliners that I use every single day in just about every single look, that live right here on the mirror, that is right in front of me, that I look at every day that I sit down to film a video, are the Wet n Wild Breakup Proof liquid and pencil eyeliners in the shade black. Guys, if I'm using a black eyeliner, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be this one right here. This retails for like $5, and it's definitely waterproof. It is definitely going to last all day long, and the fine little tip lets you draw out your cat wing, lets you tightline the upper lash line, whatever you want to do. This is a beautiful, beautiful eyeliner. It does not dry out. It does not flake, hiccup, or anything like that. It's just so smooth and easy to wear, as is the retractable pencil. I use this all the time to line my upper and lower water lines. It's just perfect. They retail for like $5 each. You can find them at Walmart, at Target, on the Wet n Wild Beauty website. But these are definitely a must-have from Wet n Wild. Now let's talk about eyebrows. I wouldn't say I discovered, but I really started using brow pens every single day to do my brows. And the two brow pens that I've really been loving, one of them being the Urban Decay Brow Blade, but I'm not going to feature this in this video just because it came out in kind of like the middle of 2019, but that is one of my favorites. But these two that I've been reaching for, brow products that are making my favorites of 2020 list, are both from the drugstore. One is from Milani and one is a very new find right here from NYX. This first one is the NYX Lift and Snatch Tinted Brow Pen, and I use the shade Caramel in this one. I just recently reviewed this on my channel. I've really been enjoying it. This one does need just a little bit of help. So if you have a pencil or a brow powder, I would definitely go in with that first. And then you draw in your hair-like strokes with this one, just because sometimes I feel like, and maybe it's just my eyebrow, because it always happens it's on this side, like right here. I don't really have a lot of hair. So I feel like sometimes it kind of just comes off on that one little spot. But the shade is great. The applicator is fantastic. I'm enjoying it. I can totally see myself repurchasing it again. And then the Milani Weekend Brow. Oh, I have this in 2 shades. I love this one. This one is in the shade Soft Brown. I think I have medium brown as well. Guys, also, which I don't have it in front of me because I think I ran out of it already, but the Milani Precise, or what is it, the micro eyebrow pencil. It was also new for 2020. Both of those Milani products are things that are definitely my favorites of 2020. But yeah, guys, brow pens, definitely a must-have. If you have sparse brows like me and you need to draw in some hairs, these need to be in your stash. So next, let's talk about mascara. And the first one we're going to talk about is from Pat McGrath. And this is the Darkstar Mascara. I loved this mascara. I think the packaging is really nice. There's a nice little weight to it. And this just does a great job of making my lashes look full and separated. Of course, it amplifies the length, but it doesn't flake on me. It doesn't smear on my lower lash line. It just does what it's supposed to do. It's a really nice luxury mascara, and it was a nice way for me to try more Pat McGrath. Next is the mascara that I am currently wearing right now. Definitely one that I did a review on. This is from Huda Beauty. This is the Legit Lashes Mascara. So this is a dual-ended mascara. You have the volume side, which you go in with first, and then you have the curl and length side. So that's exactly what I did. I go in with the volume first on both lashes, kind of just let it dry just ever so slightly, and then I go in with the curl and length side. And these are my lashes. I did curl them before I went in with the mascara, but they're gonna stay like this all day. This one doesn't flake. It also does not smear. This is a really nice mascara that I could not recommend more. And then finally, a surprise, kind of a shocker, is from e.l.f. And this is their new one. This is their Lash It Loud mascara. This just came out and it is making my best of 2020 list. Guys, this little mascara is like $6 or $7, something like that. Brand new. You can find it on the e.l.f. website because that's where I got this. I'm not too sure. I don't remember if this is available yet on Ulta. It might be. But this little mascara does a great job. It has that comb-like applicator there. It really does a good job with separation. Of course, it does a good job with lengthening. It's just a really nice mascara. I will say that you will get a couple little flakes with this one throughout the day, but it's nothing that's really gonna smear or anything. Like, I don't get anything that smears under my eye. If I get a flake, it's like right down here, right here, and I can just flick it off and it goes away. That is the only issue I've ever had with this one, but I mean, it's like $6 or $7 and it does a good job on my lashes, so I can overlook it. Speaking of lashes, I need to give a shout out to Glam Light Cosmetics on all of the gorgeous lashes that I picked up this year from this brand. Glamlight is an indie food themed makeup brand. If you haven't checked them out, I highly recommend that you do. I just reviewed their Chocolate Factory Foodie Box, which, you know, I contemplated. I almost put that chocolate donut palette in my best of 2020 because it is that good. It is definitely worth checking out. And it's a nice neutral palette if you don't like playing with lots of color. But Glamlight Cosmetics makes some amazing lashes. These are the taco lashes right here. As you can see, I've worn them. I love them. And then these are the Choco Lash, which I wore in that review video. But all of their lashes are amazing. There's really dramatic lashes. There's a little bit more subdued lashes. You're definitely going to find a style that is going to fit your preference. Now let's talk about lips. And I have 3 different lipsticks or lip products that I'm going to recommend to you guys. One of which was sent to me by Wet n Wild. And I couldn't have been more blessed than to receive all 13, actually no, all 26 of their new Mega Last lip colors, both in matte and high shine formula. But I am choosing the Wet n Wild High Shine formula as one of my favorites of 2020. 13 different shades to choose from. This is one of the shades that I wear all the time. This is called Close Off. This is just a great neutral shade. It goes with everything. So creamy, buttery smooth. They last a long time. They have super cute packaging. $3, guys. You can't go wrong with any of these Wet n Wild lipsticks. They're definitely worth checking out. Another one from the drugstore, the little lip gloss or lip balm that I am wearing right now. And hello, it's pumpkin spice. Who doesn't love pumpkin spice? This is from Milani. This is their Fruit Fetish pumpkin spice lip balm. Now I have a couple other of the Milani lip balms, but those aren't my favorite. This specific scent flavor, this is my favorite of 2020. So not the other ones, just this one. If you can still find it, which you might be able to on the Ulta Beauty website and of course on the Milani website, pick it up, guys. That way you have that little taste of fall all year round. And the lipstick that I'm wearing today is from another new to me brand in 2020, another indie makeup brand, and that is from Nabla Cosmetics. This is the Metropolitan lipstick. I picked this up with the Cutie palette that I have. And look at that shade. It is this one right here. It's just like the perfect nude shade, a little more peachy leaning than the Wet n Wild that you see there. Really, really nice. This is the one I have right now. And then I have the Milani lip balm over it. Perfect combination. And guys, last but not least, I just want to give a shout out to some of my favorite brushes. Of course, you guys know that I tried Refer brushes for the first time this year. I picked up their core set, I picked up the holiday set, and then I picked up some other eyeshadow brushes that are in their lineup. I love them so much that I also picked up another core set. So that is one that I keep in my makeup bag that's in my purse. And then I keep all of these that you see here on my filming desk. That is how much I loved them. These are natural hair, undyed goat hair makeup brushes. Worth the investment. And look at it that way. You are investing in something that you are going to use every single day. The blend, the application that you get of your makeup products, especially your eyeshadow, is completely different. Like, it's just, there is a bit of a learning curve, I would say, but once you start getting used to how the brushes work, how they perform, you're going to find that you need less product as you go. So I couldn't say enough great things about these Refer brushes. And I also have to give a shout out to another e.l.f. product. This is the e.l.f. Putty Primer Applicator. Although this is the brush that I used to apply the cream blush or the Putty Blush that e.l.f. released. For me, guys, this is just the perfect little brush to kind of just stamp on product. You can even use this with cream bronzer, cream contour. I love it. I don't use this for the Putty Primer. I use this for the Putty Blush and it works fantastic. Alright guys, that is it. I have emptied my basket. Those were all of my 2020 beauty favorites, my makeup favorites. It was definitely a good year in makeup. It was definitely the year that I tried a lot of indie makeup brands. I discovered a lot of just new to me brands and brands that I cannot wait to purchase more from in the future, and brands that maybe I was familiar with but just never really took the plunge and bought makeup from, like Natasha Denona, like Hourglass, like Pat McGrath. Those were all three luxury makeup brands that I had always wanted to have in my stash, but you know, the price tag doesn't always make it easy to afford them. But I'm happy with the items that I got. So guys, I know this was a long video, but I definitely wanted to spotlight this video for you guys. We could not end the year without me sharing with you all my favorites of 2020. What kind of beauty YouTuber would I be if I didn't share them with you? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Guys, from the bottom of my heart, thank you all so much for the love, the support, all of the positive vibes and energy that you have sent my way in 2020. You guys were definitely the highlight of my year. You guys are the reason that I really did have a great 2020. I look forward to 2021. I cannot wait to see what my channel has in store for you guys, what I have in store for you guys, and what you guys have in store for me. You guys have a great day or night wherever it is you all are at. Stay hydrated, guys. Drink your water. Cheers. And I will see you all next year. Bye, guys.